broken down again, Henry?
Yes, sir. I'm really sorry, sir.
Don't worry, Henry, but it looks like we will have to move you down to lighter local trains and slow goods, as I cannot keep having this happen on my express trains. Hopefully, the slower pace will be easier on your system.
I understand, sir. Who's that?
Hello, Henry. I'm Clarence, your temporary replacement.
Temporary replacement? What do you mean?
Well, I got kind of desperate seeing as 87546 is still punished, and we would still need an engine to look after your trains while you're being repaired. So I contacted the NWR, and they were kind enough to loan us Clarence until your repairs are done.
Oh, I see. Well, it's nice to meet you, Clarence. How long are you gonna be staying?
Well, as long as the NWR allows. Alright, now that the introductions are complete, Edward, you take Henry to the works, and Clarence, you take this train. Yes, sir.
I'm a failure.
Henry, I really don't want you to start talking like that.
But it's true. All I've done since I've got here is break down and cause trouble.
But you pulled through all those times, even pushing yourself when you were sick. A true inspiration to us all. You've shown us how strong you are mentally.
I guess.
Good Lord, Henry, are you alright?
Another day, another breakdown, Scarloey.
But I thought I saw you coming through this morning with the express. So, if you're here, then who was that other green engine? His name is Clarence. He's loaned from the NWR. He's filling in while Henry gets repaired.
Why not make him permanent?
Henry, stop it.
But, Edward...
But nothing, Henry. Cut this negative self-talk out this instant. Sir Topham Hatt gave you that number 3 on your tender for a reason. And besides, as we both know, he's a good man, and he said that he would have your issues sorted out. So, until then, just try to stay positive, Henry. And good luck on your repairs.
I suppose I should also wish you good luck on your repairs, Henry.
Yes, Henry. Good luck on your repairs.
Thank you, Edward. Thank you, Scarloey. And thank you, Reneus.
Although Sir Topham Hatt said that he would sort Henry's issues out in no time, he found that he spoke too soon. Although a thorough cleaning of his smokebox and tubes did good, more and more loaned engines were still needed to cover for Henry whenever he was ill again. Everyone had to work very hard, as more and more people were coming to the island of Sodor. 98462, 87546, and Gordon were all pulling expresses, while heavy goods trains and local passenger trains were taken care of by engines such as Henry and Clarence and Eagle. With Thomas now shunting in the yards, Edward was used less and less. and was cast down to only a spare engine, as the drivers and firemen wanted to use the more modern engines like Gordon and even Henry. This made some of the bigger tender engines rather boastful about this. Good morning, everyone. Have the driver and fireman arrived to start work yet? You might as well have just missed them. Yes, don't tell me you think they'll actually choose you. Well, it would be nice to get out and stretch my wheels for a change. Well, Edward, I hate to burst your bubble, but I am telling you this as a friend. Do you know why the driver never chooses you again? No, you don't know? Rigby, my dear engine, do you know why the driver never chooses Edward? No, indeed I don't know. Do you know, my dear Gordon? Indeed I do! It's because he wants big, strong engines like us, not some outdated old pile of rubbish. Will you two stop picking on Edward? I'm sorry, Henry. Did we interrupt your morning crying of sickness? Leave Henry alone. And stop picking on Edward. Ever since he got classed down as a spare engine, it's been nothing but rude comments. I have to agree with Eagle. Sure, Edward may be old, but that's no reason to be rude. You're like a school bully, hurting the feelings of an innocent child. We're merely stating the facts, 98462. He needs to realize that he's out of date and that his time is up. Precisely, Rigby. He should just give up and be preserved before it's too late. May I remind you that Edward helped build these rails that you run on. Without him, none of us would have a railway to work on. And if engines like me can still be in steam, then so should he. He'll show you one of these days. Just you wait and see. And how do you expect him to do that, when the drivers barely even go near him? Well, judging by the way Henry looks, it seems like that chance might be sooner than you think. Just you wait and see, Gordon. He'll show you. No offense, Big Green. None taken. Timothy.
What's the matter? Are you feeling sad?
Oh, it's just that I haven't been out in a very long time since I got cast down as a spare engine in case for emergencies. But the other engines do it instead. No matter. I guess I'm just a little bit tired, that's all. Or maybe you're just getting old.
Would you like to come out today?
Oh, yes, please.
So the fireman lit the fire and made a nice lot of steam. Then the driver pulled the lever and Edward puffed away.
Look at me.
The other engines were very cross at being left behind.
Disgraceful! Disgusting!
Go on, Edward! Go on!
Damn you, Henry, you were supposed to say despicable. Good morning, coaches. I'll be your engine today.
Oh, please be careful, Edward. Don't bump and bang us like the other engines do. Thank you, Edward. That was kind. We are glad you're taking us today.
All right, my dears. Let's head to the station. I can't believe it! They let that bucket of bolts Edward out today! I know, and it's all that Henry's fault. If he wasn't sick, then that old-timer would have had no chance of getting out today. That old-timer has been running these rails since long before you came here. Now stop saying rude things about him before I take that stupid face of yours and shove it up. That's enough out of both of you. 87546. You know better than to harass Henry about his illness. It's not his fault and you know it. And Henry, I'm glad you're standing up for yourself, but you should know better than to come back with profanity. That's not the way a dignified engine speaks.
I'm sorry, Eagle.
I just think that old-timers like Edward should be kept in their place and not allowed out on the main line except for special occasions. Speak of the engine, Adam told me that Edward might be going out again tomorrow. What do you think of that? What? No way! You can't be... Driver said he'd like to take me out again tomorrow. What do you think of that, And you actually believe that? You simply got lucky, Edward. Enjoy your brief moment in the limelight. It's already fading. Don't count on it again. Now listen here, old man. You were only let out because sick old Henry can't handle his trains on his own. Just you wait till... Good evening, engines. Good evening, Sir Topham, sir. And what brings you here this fine evening, sir? I had come to congratulate Edward on his fine work today, but it seems I have other matters to tend to later. Edward, I am very pleased with your work today. You really proved yourself. Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure. I'm very happy to be useful again. I'm glad to hear that, Edward, because I've decided to put you back in the timetables so you can alternate with 98462 and Henry's timetables until I can make some permanent adjustments. So now you will be pulling the first train of the day, and hopefully the adjustments will give Henry more time to get steamed up in the mornings. Oh, yes, sir. Does this mean... It means you're going out again tomorrow, Edward. What do you think of that? I think that sounds splendid, sir. Excellent. That will be all for tonight. Good night, engines. Well, looks like I'm going out again tomorrow. What do you think of that? Just because you're back on the timetable doesn't mean that you're useful. Precisely. Now you listen here, old-timer. Oh.
But he didn't hear what they thought, for he was so tired and happy that he fell asleep at once.